Okay, yeah. Alright, so what's up, family? It's Toya B. Today we are actually going to do a discussion, or more or less a round of questions. My daughter's going to ask me some questions, and to make it a little bit more lighthearted this time and keep it interesting. Before, you've seen me do this with my oldest daughter, where I asked her little random questions and she was on there on the video. So now we're doing it with my middle child, and so we'll get started. So hang on if you want to be entertained. And where I have a 2-year-old, she's 13, and I have a 17-year-old. So Anastasia.
Hi.
She is better known as Tay, is her nickname.
Yes.
But she's my tall girl in comparison to all of my children. We'll just jump right on into it. She has some questions for me that I don't know. We'll see. You'll learn a little bit about me, and she'll learn a little bit about me at the same time, and hopefully you'll have some fun with it as well. So, your show.
Okay. What did you want to be as a little kid?
What do I want to be as a little kid? So, I've always wanted to be a model. I had this, when I was younger, I wanted to model, but I've always been curvy, so that wasn't that wasn't something that I could do back then. I read this book. I need to find the book, but I read this book about this girl who went to New York to become a model, and ever since then, that's what I wanted to do. I've always wanted to go to New York. I've always wanted to model in New York, but situations changed, so I wasn't able to do that. But it was one of the things that inspired me as a child is I wanted to be a model and walk the runway.
That's what I'm doing.
Yes, she is going to be a model. She's working on being a model.
Yes. Yes, I am. Okay. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is your favorite color?
So it depends. My favorite color is, I like pink, but you tend to find me in a lot of black and red, with occasional pops of pink. So I would probably say, you know what, maybe I don't even have a favorite color because I like color in general. So my closet is full of color, but
Weird. This might get interesting. What is one thing that happened as a kid?
like what?
Like something that, like, situation sort of, or something happened, or you got in trouble or something like that. Or you got in trouble or something happened.
So one time, if you don't know, I'm a military brat, and we were stationed in North Carolina at the time. The base housing was always weird. They had like these little forests that would break up the house in the streets. So we would literally walk across the street, and there was like a little home area type deal where they had the Girl Scouts and the Brownies. My mom enrolled me in that as a child, and needless to say, I got kicked out of the Brownies. And the reason I got kicked out is it's stupid. I was dumb and I wanted it, and I got it. But so at the end of every brownie session, they would give you some kind of treat or something like that, and it was Snickers. And Snickers is one of my favorite candy bars. So I took the Snickers from the other brownies gift bags. And I ate them. They asked about it, and I lied. But I originally told the truth, and then they asked me not to come back. Yeah. It was interesting. But I didn't have to go back when they kicked me out. They called my mother, and they talked to her about it, and they were like, look, okay. And so I got in trouble. I got in trouble for stealing. But Snickers, it was Snickers. I love Snickers. And then when Snickers came out with the big, giant, king-size Snicker bars, I was in heaven. Yeah, I was in high school during that time. But I love Snickers.
She still loves them to this day.
I do.
She's a Snickers fan, because every single time we would go out for Halloween, we would always put our candy, me and my sister, we would always put our candy up on the refrigerator because she wouldn't allow us to have it in our room for, I don't know, some odd reason. So we would put it up there, and then maybe like during the day or something, we would go grab it and we would go check our candy. Well, one day I was gonna go eat a Snickers, and I couldn't find any of them. And then I asked Zaina if she took them, and she was like, no, I didn't. And then she looked in her bag. She couldn't find them. And then she thought I did it. But no. It wasn't me. It wasn't her. It wasn't Granddad. It was Mom.
They didn't need it. And I don't let them take candy in their room because they will just destroy it everywhere. But anyways, moving on. Next question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What is your favorite fruit?
I don't know that I have a favorite fruit. I guess grapes. I like grapes a lot. So grapes. Green grapes. I like those. So let's say grapes.
Okay. Okay. What's your favorite fashion store?
Favorite store? I don't really have one outside of that, but I like ASOS a lot because it's a combination. They have ASOS, the online store, and then they have ASOS, the marketplace, which is just heaven for me because it's different types of things, and I like different. I like to be different, so it kind of like it caters to my fashion preference. So I would probably say ASOS is my favorite.
Did you get that scar on your foot? You have like a scar on your foot? I don't know where it came from.
I don't have a scar.
It's like right here. It's like right here. You said it happened in our old house?
Mm-mm.
You said you dropped something on your foot in the old house?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, well, there's a scar there. Or something happened and you dropped something and it fell on your foot.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm not crazy.
Oh, I think
know what happened.
I dropped a knife on my foot.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm not crazy. I know what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy. I knew it happened. I know it happened. Like,
I forgot all about it.
like, I'm not crazy. I knew it happened. Like, I'm pretty sure I have a clear memory. Sort of. Mom.
I did a knife on my foot. It wasn't the best experience. I don't know what I was doing. I don't even know what I was cutting up, but I dropped a knife on my foot. Yeah. And I have another story where I was like, when we lived in North Carolina again, we were doing some yard work and we had to move some of the rocks that they had along the side of the house, and they were like limestone rocks. And I picked the rock up and literally like had a big gash in my knee. Somehow I scraped my knee and it was, I don't even know how that happened, but needless to say, I didn't have to do the rocks anymore, but it wasn't intentional. It just happened. And I have a scar on my leg because of it. It was quite interesting. I don't even know how I did that, but I did it.
What, were you a clumsy child?
I used to kick tables. I was so
How
clumsy.
How do you kick a table?
I did. It was accidental though.
Why are you beating up tables?
Accidental. Yeah.
Beating up tables.
I used to kick tables. And my baby toe is messed up because of it. My dad had these, he was stationed in England, and he had these wooden tables, and the wooden tables were around the house. And I would, for some reason, as I'm walking to my room, I would end up kicking the tables. So I think I broke my pinky toe in the process because it's super short in comparison to my other toes. Yeah. It's really jacked up. So it's the middle toe. So now you see my hands, right? So instead of them looking all even, my middle toe's like this. Yeah. All right.
You stole candy from little kids. Not little kids. Well, little kids, sort of. And then you beat up tables.
So, but why you make it sound so bad?
You said I used to kick tables like you beat them up.
It wasn't intentional. I was just clumsy. Just a clumsy child.
Beating up tables?
Mom. Yeah. She's done with her questions. We're going to wrap this up. I hope you learned a little bit about me, learned a little bit about her, and